comparing fractions, and Brian says that 1/2 is equal to 1/4 because they both have a 1 in the numerator. So let's break the problem down using pattern blocks. So when I have fractions, it means parts of a whole. So for today, we're going to use this as our whole. So I'm going to make one. Here's our whole for 1/2. Here's our whole for 1/4. This is just a visual to show us what the whole of this fraction would be. So if I have half of my whole, I'm going to have this much. Because if we look, there's 2 parts, there's half. So if I look at my fraction, the denominator, the number on the bottom, is going to be how many parts are in our whole. There's 2 parts, 1, 2, and it makes a whole. Our numerator is going to be how many parts are visual to us right now. So if I have 1/2, I'm going to have 1 out of the 2 parts showing. So here's my visual representation of 1/2. So then for 1/4, we have 4 parts in our whole, 4 parts, and we need 1 shown. So we're just going to keep 1. And so there's our visual representation for 1/4. So if you can see, the 1/2 is bigger than the 1/4, and you can even put it on top to see that. Now if we're looking at comparing 1/4 and 2/4, we're going to get rid of this because this is our half. So here are our fourths. And now remember, the bottom number is how many parts we have. So we have 4 parts to equal our whole, remember? And the numerator, the top number, is going to be how many parts are shown. So if I have 1/4 of my whole, I'm going to have 1 out of the 4 showing. So there's my visual representation for 1/4. Now if I have 2/4 of my whole, here's our whole for this one. Here's my other whole. I have 4 parts, and we're going to use 2 for our numerator. So I have 1/4 and 2/4. So as you can see, they're not equal, but 2/4 is bigger because there's more parts to our whole. Like so. Another way to show our fractions is by using fraction tiles. And this has the numbers on them, so we can see what the fractions are based on their visual representation. So if we have 1/2 and 1/4, that's what we're comparing. So here's our whole. Our whole is the row of tiles, and we have 2 parts for the denominator to make a whole, and we have 4 parts for our denominator over here to make a whole. So if we're comparing these 2 fractions, we're going to use the top number to see how many tiles we have. So we need 1/2 tile, and we need 1/4 tile. So if you can see, as we're comparing the 2 tiles, you can easily see that 1/2 is bigger than 1/4. Now for Angie's way of comparing, we're using our 4s for the bottom, so we're using our 1/4 tile, because that's how many parts is in our whole. And for this one, we're just having 1/4. This one we need 2/4. So we're going to take 2 of them. So here's 1 and here's 2. So we have 2 parts of our 4-part whole. So now you can see that the 2/4 has more and is bigger than the 1/4 because there's more parts. So here's our number line, and we're going to compare 1/2 and 1/4. So here's our whole. This is when it's split into halves, and this is when it's split into fourths. So if we're looking at 1/2, it's going to be right here where this line is, and 1/4 is right here where this line is. And when we're comparing and trying to figure out which one's bigger, we're going to look to see which one's closer to the whole number, because if we're eating chocolate, we want as close to a whole bar as we can. So here's 1/2 and here's 1/4, so 1/2 is closer, so it would be the bigger number. With comparing 1/4 and 2/4, now we're using the same number line because the number of parts that we have, the denominator, is the same. So here's 1/4 and here's 2/4, and 2/4 is closer to our whole. This gives us more chocolate, so this is the one that's bigger. And 2 is even bigger than 1 since our parts are the same. This means we have more parts of our whole.